Money in the Bank.
Wow.
I guarantee you. I didn't see it, but I'm sure it was better. This was the worst camera work I've ever seen.
Okay.
Wow.
This show was unwatchable.
Well, you should have watched the Royal Rampage then, because they had 2 rings, and they were trying to capture action from both rings at the same time.
That's true.
And they missed everything from one ring while they were filming another ring.
That does not sound ideal. I'm not going to tell you that sounds ideal. Sadly, we watched WWE Money in the Bank July 2nd, 2022.
I didn't think it was all that bad.
It's actually pretty good.
Opened with the Women's Money in the Bank match.
This wasn't good.
I skipped the entrances, so I'm trying to write down who's in this. I see Shotzi, I see Asuka, I see Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Lacey Evans. And I'm trying to write this down. I swear to God, the match has just started. All right? This is how the show begins, really. Asuka does a back kick, camera cut. She does a kick, camera cut. She does a back fist, camera cut. She starts to run, camera cut. She's still running, camera cut. She hits a hip attack, camera cut. She drops to her knees, camera cut. She throws a kick, camera cut. The kick connects, camera cut. She follows through the kick, camera cut. She stands up and screams, camera cut to people brawling on the floor. I was furious. Do you understand? I wanted to shut the show off and not watch anymore. Fuck this. This is horseshit, Brian. This is how it began.
I mean,
Money in the Bank.
Listen.
I've been holding this for 4 hours.
This production is horrible, okay? And the funny thing is, once a week, I get some message from somebody in WWE ridiculing AEW for their production. You know, because we get, like, video packages and personality profiles. But do they understand how fucking awful it is to watch these wrestling matches? It was brought to my attention when Cesaro did the swing. Somebody actually said that was the first time I ever actually saw Cesaro do the swing.
Yes.
Because in WWE, they cut the goddamn fucking camera so many times I couldn't even... It's impossible to count. Yes. So yes, it is atrocious, horrible, awful, terrible in-ring production.
I'm watching this match. Like I got my notes in one window and the pay-per-view in the other window on my monitor, and I'm focusing on my notes, watching the match at the corner of my eye, because if I actually look at the screen, I get a headache and I get sick. So, let's see, Raquel Rodriguez is in there, if I didn't mention that. I see Lacey got another new gimmick. Mm-hmm. She is now Patti Smith in the Warrior music video.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting down the walls of heartache.
Bang, bang.
Yeah. So, watching this, and Lacey's got her fingers in the briefcase. She's on top of the ladder. She's on top of the ladder. She's climbing up to touch the briefcase. Raquel Rodriguez climbs up the ladder through her legs underneath her, and Corey Graves screams, "Where did she come from?" She's on top of a ladder in the middle of a wrestling ring, in the middle of an arena of thousands of people. And you can't tell me where she's come from. That's because your show sucks.
Snuck up.
So, let's see. There's more stuff going on. Shotzi and Alexa fall off the ladder. Alexa screaming in agony. Becky and Shotzi are trying to climb a clearly broken ladder.
Oh, yeah. They had that spot with Shotzi and Alexa where they tried something and it went wrong, and then Alexa starts screaming, and it's a total botch. And then they showed a replay. This fantastic, amazing production crew showed a replay of this fucked up spot.
So Shotzi jumps off the ropes and she lands and she's in pain. Why? I don't know. I didn't see her land. Becky falls down. Asuka is happy. Why? I don't know. I didn't see Asuka do anything. The only part of this match I liked is when Raquel and Asuka are going one-on-one on the floor, and it's Raquel's power and Asuka's great grappling. They're doing all sorts of fun stuff out there. And then it ends. Asuka's going for like in a crucifix position, going for an armbar or something. And Becky kicks Raquel. Raquel gently lays Asuka down on a ladder, and now Asuka can't move. So Becky climbs another ladder, and she jumps on Asuka with her back or her ass. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. The camera sucked. The finish was good.
Well, actually, the camera work on that one was fine. You didn't know what happened because the angle it was shot at, you couldn't see what happened.
How is that fine?
Well,
you're lying to me.
No, because, well, this one was not a production error, Vinny. This was a Becky Lynch error. Because what was supposed to happen was Becky was supposed to jump off the ladder and leg drop Asuka through the ladder. But Becky jumped over the fucking ladder and missed.
I see.
So because the camera was there, you couldn't see what fucking happened. That was not the cameraman's fault. That was her missing a fucking ladder.
I see.
Which is pretty fucking hard to do, by the way. And it looked like Asuka's, she was just kept grabbing her boob. So I think that Becky was supposed to sit on her and break the ladder. And I'm 100% the ladder was supposed to break. But instead she squished her boob with her now bony ass, which probably hurt like shit. And we missed it.
I thought she squashed most of her arm.
Well, I thought so too, but Asuka keeps grabbing her boob
maybe
afterwards.
she tore her pec.
For like 5 minutes. She was grabbing her boob. So I think that she got squashed there.
So the finish was good. Becky and Liv are climbing ladders next to each other. Becky pushes Liv's ladder over, but Liv manages to push off the top rope back, knock Becky down, and Liv climbs up and wins. Place goes crazy. The crowd loved this. I liked Raquel and Asuka on the floor. Most of the time, I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Dude, forget the fucking camera work. This match was full. Listen, there might have been a spot that Shotzi didn't botch, but I don't remember it. She botched every single solitary thing that she tried, one after another, and she wasn't the only one. Who else was in this match? Raquel looked lost most of the time. Alexa, I was worried was going to get a concussion constantly. Shotzi, I'm pretty sure, got a concussion when she landed back of the head first only on a ladder. Becky missed a spot off the top, which was supposed to be one of the big spots in the match. What else do we have? Lacey Evans was barely even there, and when she was there on the 4th of July weekend, she was booed out of the building. It was so, like, on the bottom end of Money in the Bank matches, and these fans are chanting, "This is awesome."
This crowd was great.
I'm like, God damn. I've said it before. These are fans that every business should aspire to have fans like this WWE universe. You can just serve them anything. Like, you can go and order. I mean, I can imagine, your wife has a pretty limited palate, Vinny.
Sure.
Let's not lie. She could go and order a well-done steak. They could bring it to her, like, so bloody that it's still moving. And if she were in the WWE universe, she'd thank them. Thank you for making it totally wrong, exactly how I don't like it. I really appreciate it. You're an awesome chef. Like, that's what we're talking about here, as opposed to what would really happen, which would not be that. But yes, not a good match. There were a couple of good things. One was a sunset flip powerbomb that lived it off the ladder to Raquel. I have no idea how they pulled that off, but they did. Because she went over Shotzi to land on Raquel to do the sunset flip powerbomb. That was good. There were a couple of spots that were all right, and then Liv winning at the end and the crowd reaction and the "you deserve it" chants and everything like that. That was great. I was happy to see her win. She was crying when she came out, which should have been a giveaway, by the way.
I guess so, yeah.
And cried at the end, but this was not the best Money in the Bank match I've ever seen. Far from it, in fact.
Yeah, they blew a lot of spots. Shotzi had a horrible night, trying to run up a ladder into the corner, and she stepped and threw the rung and ended up getting tripped up. Another spot, she had one of the girls on her shoulders. She was going to windmill her into the ladder, but the ladder fell over at the last minute. They both ended up clunking into the fallen ladder at this point. And every time, as Brian said, every time Shotzi tried to do a spot, something got messed up. These girls did not have a good match. And
you know what's funny is when Shotzi was in NXT, they always put her in ladder matches because she always did a good job in the ladder matches. Granted, it was a good job almost killing herself, but that was kind of like what she was known for in NXT. So I think that's why she ended up in this ladder match, and this was not that.
And to Vinny's point, she came up bloody at one point, and the camera completely 100% missed whatever happened, and they had to show a replay of her doing a senton from the top rope and just smashed the back of her head into the ladder. It was pretty brutal. Not a good night to be Miss Blackheart.
Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory. So, I don't know. It was fine.
You're
Lashley
still bitter from the opener.
Lashley has Theory on his shoulders outside and goes to run and throw his head into the post. And Theory says, no, and he pulls his hand out and blocked it. And I laughed because if Lashley had me on his shoulders and I reached out my hand to block a post shot, all that happens is my arm breaks in two and my head hits the post anyway. So I didn't buy the spot is what I'm saying. And then Theory tried to dive off the apron and he was supposed to get caught. It didn't quite work. And then Lashley threw him into the post anyway. Lashley charges. Theory blocks his attack by going fetal, curling up into a ball. It worked. Can't tell me UFC fights I've seen where a guy goes fetal and the fight just stops. And
Hey, Corey was putting it over as like a brilliant strategy because, as he explained, when you're a baby and you go into the fetal position, people protect you. I was like, he's not a baby.
He's not a baby.
He's a grown man.
There's no one there to protect him.
Yeah, if he cried, that means someone's going to come along with a breast.
Believe me, I tried. So Lashley escapes an 18-minute chinlock, hits some suplexes, and Theory tries a somersault, something. It turns into Braun Breaker's finish, but Bobby is not Braun, so it doesn't finish. And then Theory has a somersault into what he claimed was a dropkick. I don't know. I couldn't see it. So Theory hits a spear, which is Lashley's own move, but then when he tries his finish, Lashley reverses it into a full Nelson and wins. He gets the U.S. title as if that matters, as if wins and losses matter in this company.
Wow. Vinny's been ruined by the camera work in the opening match. This was a good match.
It gets worse.
It was a good match. Crowd was hot. They absolutely loved Bobby Lashley. Yeah, Theory, I mean, I don't get it.
It sounds like a great match. Wow.
No, I'm not talking about that, you idiot. I'm talking about Vince absolutely positively loves this guy. And, he's got like a good body and everything like that, but Bobby Lashley's got a better body. And I guess he's young, but that's never stopped Vince from pushing old people. And, people are like, oh, you complain that they don't push young guys. Then you complain that they push Theory. What's wrong with you? You can't see what the problem is here? We want a young guy pushed that's great.
Talented young guy.
Not a young guy that's pushed that's merely average.
He's very average.
I mean, I'm sure he's had far better matches outside of WWE. He kind of, when he was in Evolve, people talked about him as a future superstar, but he ain't showing none of that here. He's in there, very basic matches, chin lock during the heat. He gets go-away heat, but not like good heat. And he doesn't do anything wrong, but he doesn't do anything right. Isn't that the thing? So he wins, we'll get to the thing later, but he got beaten here, and people did love that because they're sick of Theory. He's being shoved down their throats. Bobby Lashley was super over, and his comeback was good. And heat-wise and work-wise, it was a good match. But, I mean, I want the guy who's going to be like the next alleged John Cena to be like great, not just there. There's plenty of guys that are great in this company. I don't need an average one being pushed.
I thought these guys worked really hard. They had a pretty good match. I wouldn't go great or anything, but Bobby got that superstar reaction, man. He was the most over guy in the show, I think. The crowd was really, really hot for about the first 3.5, maybe 4 matches, and then, well, we'll get to it. Then they died a death, unfortunately.
Carmella versus Bianca Belair.
This didn't help.
They literally cut to a camera shot during this match where the camera was behind the post. So they're trying very hard to zoom in on Carmella's face. So they're only shooting her from like the waist up. And so there's a wrestling match going on, but I can't see it because it's zoomed in too tight. Bianca at one point slaps her ass, does a flip, 7 camera cuts.
Wow.
She makes a comeback. She has a face lock and is doing walloping forearms to the back. They're ketting like crazy for all of this. So somewhere in here, Bianca punches Carmella in the mouth, and Corey says, uh-oh, Carmella's not on my dental insurance yet. I know WWE fans do not give a shit. But I think anyone said, wait a minute, they don't insure the wrestlers? They don't get insurance right away, but the commentators do? So Bianca won with the KOD. It was the best you could get from Bianca and Carmella. Particularly Carmella.
This is literally the worst Bianca match I've ever seen.
And maybe the best Carmella match.
Oh no, not even close, dude. Not even close. There was a period where she had like 3 good matches in a row, and then I don't know what happened after that.
Amazing.
Now we're back
like
to
Flair Steamboat.
Very, very average matches. And this was a match that you would see in the main event of Raw. Although a little bit better because they actually had a finish. Nobody ran in for a DQ or a distraction or anything. But I mean, just absolutely nothing to it, and like not even a back and forth and this or that or whatever. It's like Bianca beats her clean in the middle with the KOD, just gets mad because she got slapped, kills her, and pins her. And then Carmella jumps her and beats her up afterwards. I'm like, why? We need a match for Raw. You know what? You can just do the match on Raw. We don't need an angle. But anyway, yeah, this was very average. You missed the Liv Morgan interview.
I guess I did.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
You didn't write it down?
I missed it.
No.
I literally did not see a second of it.
Well, Liv Morgan did an interview, and she said she had a year to cash in this briefcase. She was asked when you're going to do it, and she said, well, I only get one chance. I don't want to fuck this up, but I'm thinking WrestleMania.
Aha!
I'm thinking WrestleMania.
A red herring.
I just want to celebrate. And she was so good in this promo that I bought it. I did not think for 1 second she was cashing in on this show. And she did. So good for them.
Usos versus the Street Profits.
Hold on a minute. You're jumping ahead here.
I am?
Yeah, Logan Paul.
I miss Logan Paul.
You missed Logan Paul?
Skipping stuff.
Jesus Christ, dude. You could have watched 3 Rampages with the stuff you missed.
Wish I had.
Logan Paul has signed his contract, and he explains that he does not want to team with The Miz, and in fact, he wants to wrestle The Miz at SummerSlam. Well, they were teaming together, Vinny.
Yeah, but then Miz turned on him. Even
yes.
I remember that.
Well, yes, but you don't watch Raw.
All right.
And on Raw, The Miz came out, and he said they were teaming together at SummerSlam.
Why would he say this?
Well, he said that, I was trying to teach him a lesson. We're on the same page. We're going to be teaming together. We're going to win the tag team titles. So then Logan here on this show says, no, we're not going to team together. I don't want to team with this guy. I want to beat him at SummerSlam. So they're going to have a match. And I tweeted that fans booed this guy out of the building. And am I going to have to put up with this for 3 fucking years? I had like a number of people do the exact... It was like the exact same tweet. I was there. He wasn't booed out of the building. You know, because they were there, allegedly.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers watched the show. You could hear the fucking crowd booing him on the fucking TV. Like, he was fucking booed. So anyway, then... And bro, you're going to get heat for this, Vinny.
Okay.
You skipped over the fucking Alexa Bliss segment.
Oh, boy.
People have been waiting for 48 hours. You may need to watch this on your phone. I may need
I got
to
a laptop right here. I can bring a Peacock.
Okay, load up Peacock.
All right.
You're going to watch... We're going to do
a live watch-along, everyone. This probably violates many copyright laws.
Well, we're not going to do the live watch-along. We're going to mute your mic.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna have you watch it, and then you're going to recap it here. It's right after the Logan Paul, which is right after the Carmella deal.
Okay.
She's in the locker room with the doll. All right?
All right, so you're going to mute my mic.
Well, I'll mute your mic, but what we're going to do is we're going to watch Vinny's reaction as he watches it and listens to it.
That's going to be great radio for the podcast, Brian.
Yeah, it will. And then we're going to get his reactions. He still hasn't found it yet.
No, because... Okay, there's Logan Paul.
There's Logan Paul.
Skip this guy.
Yeah. You want to listen to the booze while we're at it?
All right. Is it during the pre-tape or...
Forget it. Just go to Alexa.
All right, I'll go to Alexa. All right. There's Miz.
It wasn't Alexa's commercial, this person says. It was Lily's.
Okay, there's the...
All right, take off your headphones so you can hear it.
All right.
We're going to mute Vinny. All right, here we go. So Vinny's going to watch this, everybody. And to avoid copyright issues, we're not going to play the audio, but we're going to watch him.
If Peacock will play, and now we loaded up at the 1:15 mark. I kept hitting play and pause, and nothing's happening. Can I skip backwards?
Can you do anything?
I can skip forward in 10 seconds. I cannot actually play it.
What?
Okay, there's Alexa. Play, you fucker. Play, please. I'll give you $100 to play right now. Come on, play.
Give it $100. I can go on my
I'll
iPad
get my
right
computer.
now.
Yeah, do that. Actually, go load your iPad.
Craig, tell us a story about how your kid got his driver's license or something.
Yeah, he went to the DMV and they gave him his license. I don't know what to say. I mean, that I'm literally tap dancing here. Anyway, yeah, Vinny looks disgusted. He's angry. Brian is not in the shot anymore, so here I am holding court, and I'm looking at an empty screen on one side. Tony, do you have a mic? Can we talk? That's probably not a good idea, actually. So how's your guys' 4th, huh? Good? Had a great barbecue today. Great barbecue. Did Juicy Lucy's.
I finally, just watch. I finally got it working, and then he got it working by going on Chrome.
Can we describe what I'm seeing here?
No, just watch it and then do a recap afterwards.
Okay.
Just gonna watch Vinny's face here.
Brian, you muted yourself.
Yeah, I got to mute my mic as well.
I see.
Craig, you're a paid professional. Can you talk about something?
Well, Vinny's laughing.
Talk about the 4th of July.
I just did, actually. Boy, if you're not on camera, you're sure missing a lot here, fellas. Vinny's got his hands in his face. He looks befuddled. Brian's laughing.
Less angry than I thought he'd be.
Apparently Brian's salon's back open again. He's looking a little less gray. It's looking good, Brian. Vinny's befuddled now. He's very confused, actually. Oh, surprise. He said, wow. I think we're ready to go now.
All right, you saw it?
All right, I saw the Alexa Bliss thing. All right, well, that sucked. Let's get one thing clear. That was horrible. Especially the punchline, which was painfully bad.
There's a punchline? I didn't know
Yeah,
it
what
was a
was the
joke.
punchline?
The punchline is, next time, ask for my size first. And she's holding up the tiny little size. That was better than most of the show.
Oh, really? Wow.
There was only one camera cut that entire skit.
Well, there was only one
And that's
camera
because she shut the door behind her. Otherwise, there may have been none. I could see what was going on. It was peaceful.
Yeah. Did you hear the crowd booing the shit out of this fucking segment when they
Sure
found out
did.
it was what were they expecting? They got mad when they found out it was a credit card commercial. So what were you expecting?
I guess they were expecting... I don't know. Brian, you asked me to understand WWE fans' mindsets.
Yeah, actually.
See,
They're stupid.
The thing that is
They're stupid, and they like bullshit.
they got rid of the doll. They got rid of the doll, and now the doll is still with her, and apparently it has the power to go on Amazon and order things.
Yeah.
And
Well, not
and
really,
talk
Craig.
to Alexa.
This was just pretend.
Brian.
This was a commercial.
Brian.
It wasn't canon.
No. The doll didn't actually buy a bunch of shit with a credit
Thank you,
card.
Brian.
Yes.
Thank you.
But no, you don't get it, Craig. You don't get
No,
it.
I
You don't
do.
get what I'm saying. No, you don't. When they had Lily the doll doing fucking magic, that shit was supposed to be real, okay? But
okay.
this was supposed to be a fucking commercial. But that other shit was supposed to be real. That fucking
makes-
doll was supposed to
that-
really be doing shit back in the day.
That makes it worse.
Yes. No, that makes this okay because it was just a fucking
No,
commercial.
it's stupid.
It was pretend. That other shit was supposed to be real.
I don't believe you're believing what you're saying right now.
God. I do believe what I was saying.
I don't think you do.
Back when the fucking doll was making people bleed out of their eyeballs or whatever shit it was doing, we were supposed to believe that that was real. Yeah, the goo. Remember the goo?
I remember
We were supposed
the
to
goo.
believe that shit was real. This we're not supposed to believe is real. We're not supposed to really believe that the doll bought a bunch of shit with a fucking WWE credit card. And can you imagine pulling that out of your wallet? You're going to buy something, you pull out your fucking WWE credit card? God! And no, I wouldn't use an AEW one either.
What if Tony gave it?
I'm disgusted I have to use an Alaska Airlines one now after all that shit they've been putting me through lately. Fuck me.
I thought you were mad at Spirit.
I'm mad at all airlines lately.
I see.
All right, can we move on?
Perhaps it's not the airlines.
No, it is!
Oh, I see. Okay, Brian.
Usos versus Street Profits.
Don't wind me up about the airlines. Go ahead. What did you think of this match, Vinny?
By miles and miles, the best thing on the show.
Thank you.
Okay.
And this is going to piss people off, but fuck it.
Okay.
I'm pissing off the world anyway.
Okay.
They did a great job doing an imitation of a Young Bucks match.
Wow.
I knew it was going to piss people off. Super kicks aplenty, crotch chops aplenty. They did the bit where a guy gets whipped into the corner and the guy in the apron does a jumping kick and says, "See ya!" There was a longer heat segment than you usually get in a Bucks match, but after
I'll
that,
say.
after that, it was all back and forth, and they built up to the big four-way stare at the end. Cole at one point teased an hour Broadway. And those exact words. Pat McAfee drove me crazy on the show. I'm usually
Yes.
a McAfee fan.
No.
He was terrible on this show for the most part, except he was terrible when he was spitting out catchphrases and sound bites and trying, for lack of a better term, to go viral. When he actually had a conversation, there was a point he brought up wedge busters in football. And Michael Cole says, "We don't really have wedge busters anymore." And McAfee calmly says, "Well, no, the game has changed." And he goes right back into screaming at me about whatever he has written down on his pre-prepared notes. They're not reacting to what happens to him in front of him. The Profits keep going for their super blockbuster. They finally hit it for a big near fall. Angelo Dawkins is doing his shocked kickout face. There's a half dozen camera cuts during his kickout face. So they try it again. That's when the super kick party breaks out one of them. Montez is a giant dive over the post. The Profits do a spine buster into a big splash with the Usos break at the pin. And then finally the Usos just hit a bunch of super kicks and the 1D and get the win. It was a very, very good match.
Yeah, there was some fuck up there near the finish, which I don't know if it played into the finish kind of being a little bit weird, but
there was right before the very end. It was blink and you'll miss it, but there was
somebody was supposed to throw. I think Montez was supposed to throw a super kick and forgot.
Yes,
is what it was.
They both guys ducked instead of both. Yeah.
But anyway, the match was an excellent match. People got mad that I said that because I guess they thought the Heat was very boring. Which, quite frankly, the Heat could have been more exciting. But
it went on forever.
You're going 23 minutes, and you do some stuff at the beginning. You do your heat. You do your comeback. The fans got super into the comebacks. That's what the fucking point of the heat is to set up a hot tag, which people go crazy for. That's exactly what happened. And Dawkins looked great during the first hot tag, and then it was actually funny. They did 2 heat segments.
They did,
and
the break in the middle was not long.
They get the heat on Dawkins, and Dawkins gives the hot tag to fucking Montez. And I swear to God, Montez tags in, comes off the ropes, gets super kicked, and they got the heat.
Correct.
That was the fucking lamest hot tag I've seen in decades, I think. It was nothing. But then he gave the hot tag to Dawkins, and Dawkins made a great comeback. Place is going crazy. Then they got all of the near falls and the et cetera, the flip dive over the post to the floor. And then, yes, the shoulder was up at the finish, so they're going to do another match, stip match at SummerSlam for the titles. And the way they've been doing the story, I mean, the only finish that makes sense in any other wrestling promotion on the fucking planet is a Street Profits win. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I don't have any faith in this company.
I anticipate a Street Profits heel turn.
But I could absolutely see Montez turning on Dawkins or
even better. Yeah, split them up. Even better. Yeah.
Well, they're teasing a split.
I see.
They even flat out teased it on SmackDown when there was an interview and the Usos said, "Rumor is you guys aren't getting along." And I was like, since fucking when? I never heard that rumor in my life. And then they blamed it on the dirt sheets. It's like, in storyline, you don't even know what the dirt sheets are.
That's outstanding.
You fucking dorks.
Dirt sheets.
This was a great 18-minute match that took 23 minutes.
Wow. I like this more than Craig.
It was good. Don't get me wrong. Both these teams are fantastic. The Usos they're probably one of the they are one of the top tag teams right now. They're fantastic. They're a great, great tag team. But that Heat segment, that took me out of it for a long time.
It was very long.
And they didn't do anything to keep my attention. But once again, if you didn't have that Heat segment, you couldn't have had the fantastic comeback. And the comeback was very good. But these guys worked hard. They kept over and over again mentioning Montez Ford's new physique but I can't wait to see these guys again. I think it's going to be great.
We had a spooky video playing, and yes, I saw this part. There was flashing lights and candles and barbed wire and crucifixes, a medal, crows, moons, license plates. So they're teasing like 8 different guys here, but by the end I was convinced Mordecai is returning.
Oh.
It's not going to be Mordecai.
Ah, damn it. Ronda Rousey versus Natalya. They're trying to explain to me that the story here is that Natalya trained Ronda Rousey and Ronda never paid her. What? Yeah, I'm sure Ronda would have been lost at a combat sport if Natalya hadn't been there to show her the ropes.
Oh, my God.
Laughed my ass off.
Are you aware that Mordecai is younger than all 3 of us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not surprised at all.
What? How?
We're very old.
He's only 45?
Yeah.
I thought he was fucking 45 when he debuted.
In Ohio
He had
Valley,
white
he was
hair.
7.
God
He
damn.
did have white hair. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
He had white hair, a white
He was
beard,
naturally white.
white eyebrows.
It's like Gandalf that got scared.
So, God, maybe it is Mordecai.
It didn't occur to you that he was
Fuck
dyeing his
me.
hair. You thought Mordecai was debuting at age 70.
Yeah, I thought he was like the Colonel. Colonel Sanders.
What?
Kind of looks like him.
I'm so happy I brought up Mordecai.
Yeah.
That's part of this whole show.
Bro, don't even tell me that this doesn't look like Colonel Sanders.
I mean,
That's a
wrong?
hippie Colonel Sanders.
there's a pissed off cult following Colonel Sanders to be seen there.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not out of your mind.
Maybe
So-
he could come back and sell chicken.
Yeah. With
They did
Dolph.
that with Dolph. Dolph did the Colonel Sanders match. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he fucked a chicken nugget or something. What was that?
I'm sorry, what?
Don't you remember that?
No.
I missed that. I missed that
No,
segment.
no, that's what it was. It was like, am I wrong?
Yes.
No, I'm not.
I guarantee
the
you.
chat is going to...
I promise you.
I'm not making this up,
100%.
No.
That's never happened.
Ask Tom. Oh, it's Enzo.
Tom?
Enzo did that.
I don't want to know.
Yeah. Enzo was trying to make he was trying to move in on chicken or something.
What?
You guys don't remember this?
No.
No, but this part I believe. Enzo making a move on a chicken. This seems within the realm of
I'll
possibility.
ask Tom. He'll remember. He's filthy.
All right. So this match I thought was really, really good. The crowd didn't care for about 90% of it. The very end, they started chanting, "This is awesome," and then immediately they went to the finish. I thought they had a really fun technical battle.
Yeah, see, Enzo romanced some chicken strips. I fucking knew it.
Okay. Congratulations.
What does
Yeah.
one do to romance chicken?
It's a chicken strip. Use your imagination.
You.
I mean, they didn't go that far, but, I mean,
You.
he was really into this chicken.
You put sauce all over it?
Really high-end sauce.
Yeah, Ziggler was a wrestling version of Colonel Sanders. That's what he did.
I see.
So that would have been weird if he was trying to make it with his own chicken.
Yeah, that would have been weird.
Yeah.
Trying to make it with his own chicken.
Yeah.
Christ.
You know,
No.
So they're going back and forth, trading submissions and countering some sharpshooters into abdominal stretches and ankle locks and knee bars and all this. The crowd didn't care at all. I thought, man, Zack Sabre Jr. was right. Having a technical match for Americans is like reading Shakespeare to a dog. And then, like, the last 10 minutes, they suddenly just go crazy for everything. I don't know why. It was the same stuff they've been doing for 10 minutes. And then Ronda tapped her out with an armbar to win. I enjoyed it.
I thought this match was,
Clunky?
so here's the deal. I watched it on delay, and, like, everybody was talking about how bad this match was. And so I was expecting, like, some horror. And then I watched it, and, like, early on, it was actually really good. And then it did start to kind of fall apart there as it got going. I think they had so much stuff to remember, because this was a heavily choreographed, practiced match. In fact, I was told this was more practice than, like, a Lash Legend match with Nikita Lyons. So they really, like, practiced this one. And, you know, as Vinny and I found out in the hair match, you know, if you're calling a match in the ring and something goes wrong, you just call something else.
Yeah.
When you're choreographing and you forget some shit and you're trying to remember and get back to where your choreography was, it fucking can really fall apart. So anyway, it did start to kind of fall apart there at the end, but I was still waiting for it to, like, really become a disaster. And then all of a sudden it was over. And I was like, that wasn't that bad at all. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was fine. But some people, man, they really hated that match. I thought the armbar with the necktie submission was a clever finish, and I liked it. I thought it was all right. I didn't have a problem with it at all.
I thought the match was okay. I did like their mat work and them exchanging holds and counters to the holds and things like that. But as I said, I thought it was a little bit clunky. But as a whole, it was fine.
There was a point I noted here. Two things I want to bring up. Well, there was a point I noted where they had a total fuck up, and we just watched a match on NXT where there was just one minor fuck up, and the whole thing went off the rails like you would never have ever imagined. Here, there's a fuck up. They just had a scrap, started whacking at each other, and somebody grabbed a headlock or whatever, and they moved on. No one froze and had a long conversation. So that was much better. Helps when you have Natalia there who actually knows what she's doing. And there was also a point where Ronda did the sharpshooter with the HBK pose. And I think the only person in the building who noticed this was Pat McAfee, so I'll credit him for that one. So then Liv Morgan cashes in. Okay, as someone who doesn't watch the product, this is just bizarre. Ronda has just had a fight. As far as I can tell, she's the babyface in that match. And she's won, but she's not 100%. She's got one leg that's just hanging by a thread. She can't stand. And Liv comes to cash in when she's down. Place goes crazy when Liv comes out. Liv charges, gets put in an ankle lock by a one-legged woman like the biggest geek I ever saw. Ronda's booed out of the building for defending her title. Liv hits a cowardly kick to the knee, gets a fluke roll-up, and wins the title for the biggest pop of the night. Ronda, who was just screwed and backstabbed and robbed of her title, presents it to Liz and congratulates her on her win as the crowd chants she deserves it, when with my own eyes, I just watched she don't deserve shit. She did nothing here.
Well, Vinny.
Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's ethical. She did a very unethical act and stole Ronda's title.
Well, you see, Vinny, you don't get it.
I don't. Correct.
Okay. This audience is not... I don't want to make fun of them like you did. But they have been trained a certain way. And what they have been trained is that if you do this a long time, you deserve a belt.
I see.
That's what they've been trained. What do you mean,
No, that's not the way it should go.
Well, I don't care how it should go. I'm telling you the way it is. In WWE, these fans, if you have been doing this for a long time, they think you deserve a belt. Hence the chance of you deserve it when they get a belt. So, they believe that Liv deserves to be the champion. She's been in championship matches, but she didn't win the belt. But because she keeps losing, and she's never been a champion, she deserves to be the champion.
I see.
And so all psychology, it doesn't matter. All psychology goes out the window. When Liv won Money in the Bank, they chanted, "You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it." She goes to the back. They play her music. She's running out to get the title. All they want is for her to get what she deserves. Ronda puts her in the ankle lock, and they booed Ronda because they thought that Liv wasn't going to get what she deserved. They thought that Ronda was going to submit her, and Liv was going to be fucked yet again, and they were angry about that. So then when she got out of the ankle lock, they were overjoyed. They didn't give two shits. She could have got a chainsaw and chopped off Ronda Rousey's leg. They'd be like, yeah, because she deserves a belt. And then she rolls her up, and she got her belt. And you know what they did? They chanted, "You deserve it."
And they gave
over
her,
and over, and they give her a huge ovation.
biggest ovation of the night.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Because this is not your daddy's pro wrestling.
No, it is not.
This is the current 2022 WWE version of pro wrestling. And everybody deserves a participation trophy at some point. Everybody. You deserve it if you put in any time in this place. So that's what happened.
Liv Morgan signed with NXT in 2014, debuted on the main roster 2017.
Yeah, so
She deserves
17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's been 6 years she's never won a belt. You see, Vinny, she deserves to get a belt.
I see.
Yeah. Everyone gets one. That's what's important.
Men's Money in the Bank match. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Omos versus Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn versus Riddle versus Madcap Moss. Why is he still Madcap? Why isn't he just Riddick?
Great question.
He's no longer a jester. He's not telling jokes. He lost the suspenders. He
Well,
got gear. Why is he still Madcap?
Because he did a feud with Corbin, and he got over as a babyface.
God forbid we change anyone's name on the show.
Well, they figured he got over as Madcap.
Not because he was Madcap.
Now, quite frankly,
he overcame being Madcap.
He got over in suspenders, too, but they took the fucking suspenders off.
Got over despite
So
being
maybe
Madcap.
they should get rid of that stupid word. What's the etymology or whatever of the word Madcap?
I don't know. So Adam Pearce comes out
Oh,
to
shit, I'm looking it up.
add theory to the match. Everyone groans. Just spoil it. He wins. So the whole point is they They give the fans something they want for something chant. You deserve it. And the main event, they give the window guy who very clearly in storyline does not deserve it. He didn't have to qualify. He lost on this show. All the other guys are pissed off he's in there. They've been through hell trying to get into this match, and he just gets it for no reason other than Vince likes him. That is the story. That's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so madcap. This word madcap. Things are done in a foolish, rash, or impulsive way without planning or thought.
That's your life.
It says here, madcap, dating from the fucking 16th century, originally meant lunatic or crazy person. From the head sense of cap. In other words, a madcap was a crazy head. So now, keep going.
All right. So, they actually... okay, he's not great. But they did more to make Omos look like a giant in this match than they ever had before.
Fuck me, dude.
He was horrible in this
God,
match.
he was fucking atrocious. And every time he fucking did anything, this crowd died, and it killed this match. And it was like, they would have a great match, and then Omos would get involved. Then it would be a shitty NXT 2.0 match, and then they get rid of the guy. Then it would be a great match again. Then he'd fucking come back. It's NXT 2.0 again. Then they'd kill him, and it'd become a good match again. He fucking can't sell to save his life. He got knocked off the third rung from the fucking bottom.
It was a second.
Second?
Yes.
Okay, so he's a foot off the ground, maybe. He gets knocked off this ladder, and he fucking starts selling his head.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even fucking fall down. It would be like if I stood on the bottom part of this chair, and I went, and then I go, oh! And I sell my fucking head. Who does that? You know who? Omos. God damn.
Well, they did try to take him out of the match for a while, but he beat up all 7 dudes like a giant should do, and they all had to gang up on him. They tried to bury him under ladders. They tried to put him through a table. He kept coming back. And, I won't lie, it was better when he was under the ladders and through the table. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I did enjoy Drew and Sheamus having their love-hate relationship is fun. Because they hate each other, and they love to fight, but at the same time, they want to compete to see, like, who can hit Austin Theory harder.
I was all into that.
This is a fun rivalry. This is good stuff. And they're going one-on-one, and Sheamus... Drew tries to pin... Sheamus at first. Sheamus pins Drew under the ladder, but Drew bench presses him off, and then Drew tries to do the same thing to Sheamus, and Butch runs out and attacks Drew. That was fun. Riddle and Seth were fighting on 2 ladders next to each other, but I couldn't see what was going on. Then Riddle fell, but I didn't see him land. Riddle came back at the big RKO off the ladder, and it comes down to Theory and Riddle, and Theory just shoves Riddle off, and Theory wins. And yes, I am sure that the next event will be Austin Theory cashing in on Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I'm not expecting that one to happen.
And he takes a selfie, and they're trying so hard to get a shot of his phone that we get a shot of his ass instead. There you go. That's Money in the Bank.
Wow. Didn't like that main event.
It was fine. I'm glad they didn't do 1,000 crazy things to try to kill each other. There was no point here where I thought somebody died, but it was nothing I ever need to see again.
That RKO off the top of the ladder onto Seth Rollins, that was pretty scary.
Looked like they banged heads, too.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Yeah, that match was great. Vinny's bringing the whole show down with his misery.
I thought this was a very, very good match, but the finish absolutely sucked.
Well, the finish sucked because Theory won by throwing off Riddle.
Right.
That's why Liv Morgan probably won the title, by the way, because they were going to screw over Riddle, who everybody loved, by having Theory go up for heat to get that briefcase. You know what we need with this company is more heat.
I'll say.
His Theory as the Mr. Money in the Bank running around with that fucking briefcase. Yep, match was pretty good, but Omos, he took it down several notches, coincidentally, despite his height. And